Hello, hello everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Mhm.
Hey,
Thanks for coming in. That's honor for me to have you here, and I hope it is not our um, last meeting, and we will continue. Uh,
Of course
uh,
we will. You will not manage to get rid of us, RD. Even don't
yeah,
dream about
of
that.
course. I have no such ideas. Friends, what is the subject for today? Quite recently, I came across with an interesting article. It describes how young man, young uh, child, his father sold him to an old shepherd. It was in Spain. It was in 40th years of previous century, and his name is Marcus. Marcus and the shepherd, the old shepherd, lived together in the mountainsides, and so one day shepherd has died and left Marcus alone. Marcus was in the big need of food and survived by catching rabbits and birds using just trips and um, that he made out with leaves and sticks. So one day he came across with two cubs of wolves. Wolf cubs, and he started to play them, but mother wolf came back with meat, and he was scared and go aside go aside, not for long, but mother wolf started to feed um, her cubs with meat, fresh meat. She ripped it out meat and pushed their cubs, and Marcus was very scared and he was aside. And but after mother wolf finished, she bring her one piece of meat to Marcus, and it was very um, surprising for him. He so by this way he survived, and so it is it is a real story. It is a real story. Mm, he's an example of modern Mowgli. Yeah. Of
Yes, I wanted to say the
yeah.
same.
What would you say about that? Does mm, does animal do animals able to express their love? We all know that domestic animals as dogs and cats, of course, able. It is, but what about wild animals? Do you believe this story? What do you think?
Mm. Why not? I would like to believe. Yes, it's a beautiful story, and I would like to think that we are together in the world. I mean, we and animals. Mm, I would like to believe. Yeah. I don't have such experience, like contacting to wild world. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. But it's a beautiful story. Yes.
Barry?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Actually, to start with, humans, human beings, are animals as well. Okay, so we are animals with brains. So there is no difference in the morphology of the or the physiology of the human beings than the animals. So we are almost the same, but we have brains to think with. They they don't. All right, they are not as intellectual as we are, but for the for emotions and for the ability to feel, they are almost the same as we are. So I think animals can love. Let's start with their loving themselves. Okay, for wild animals or even domestic animals, they can love themselves. We can see it in the wild. They can love their the same kind. Okay, their same kind. Okay, if they are one kind, or the lion loves the lioness and other lions, and even his children, his babies, he loves them. We can see all animals love their children. That's idea number one. Now, if what is the relationship between animals or wild animals and human beings? All right. Um, I've seen many documentaries and even YouTube videos about people that interact daily with wild animals. I've seen lions playing with many photographers that they are already there every day for them to photograph them. Okay, so they play with them because they have many years of relationship. But I've seen also, like, other animals, like wild animals, they attack these photographers. They attack the humans that raised them, even if they know them for many years. They attack them eventually. Why is that? Because there are some other reasons. Okay, they will not attack them just like that in vain. They attack them for food if they felt hungry. Okay, if a wild animal is hungry, he will see you as food. Okay, period. If you didn't provide him with food, or he was very hungry, he will attack you. That's reason number one. Okay, they attack to feed themselves. Okay, and the second reason that I can think about is if they felt endangered. Okay, if they felt danger that you can harm them, they will attack you. Okay, I've seen many, like even the cats. Okay, they are domestic animals, but when you play with their babies, they will attack you for that. The mother will attack you for that, even if you feed her every day. Okay, um, dogs as well, they will attack for their puppies. So if they felt endangered or they felt hunger, they needed food. Okay, so these two main reasons for me are the main reasons to why wild animals can be harmful many times. But in normal circumstances, they can love. They can love. Okay, you've seen the dolphins. They are all the time playing around the boats and trying to play and trying to get interaction from human beings. We've seen, like, um, monkeys. Okay, even if they are not all domestic animals, but they can play and come to play with human beings and eat from them. Okay, so um, there are many and many ways why this case is so, um, it's not simple. It's like it's the reverse. Well, this is it. This is what I can add for now.
Thank you very much. And I want to make clear a little bit. When Marcus were sold by his father, his age was 6, and in 2 years his old shepherd were died, and so he was little. He was little, and it was very hard to stay alive in wild area, and but he could, and I don't know, for example, how mother wolf, how to say, allowed him to stay with in their family. What would you say, Ludmila?
I think wild animals are mostly led by instincts. So this mother wolf perceived the boy as a small baby, as a small puppy maybe. So she just perceived him, she considered him this way. And so her instinct was to feed him. So I think it's the reason. And the difference between human and animals is self-conscious. Yes, self-consciousness. So we can feel ourselves. I don't know how to explain. So we can like find our place in the world. But I think animals can't think this way. They just live. They are led by instincts, and the main thing for them is survival in the circumstances. So I think it's different. Anyway, there are mostly instincts in animals.
Barry, what would you say?
Yeah, I would say the same, because if for me, I said 2 reasons why wild animals shouldn't be, you know, you shouldn't trust the wild animals for these 2 reasons: if they are hungry, or if they felt, you know, that you will harm them. Okay, if they didn't feel safe, they would attack. So for a young boy, 6-year-old, maybe the mother wolf didn't see him as a threat. She didn't consider him as a person that can harm her or her puppies. So what did she do? Okay, she just considered him as as a cousin or something like that, as another animal from the same from the same kind. Maybe I'm not sure. I can't think of another reason why this wild animal could feed or help a human being, which was, he was also scared. When someone is a child and scared, he could run, and if he run, she would consider him as a threat. But since he was so shocked and he didn't run, he was just playing around with the puppies, she could consider him as you know as another animal from the same species. That's my idea about that.
Yes, I agree with you, Barry, and I can say I don't trust animals. Sorry, but it's true, because I just can't predict what they think about and their actions. I'm afraid I have like hidden fear even for those dogs, not only slum dogs, but also those ones who walk with owners, like, you know, without this protection. I have fear anyway, because I can't predict the action, what they would perceive me. Maybe they can find a thread in me. I don't know. So it's my internal fear, really. Sorry, I admit it.
Yeah, to my shame, I'm very scared about even small dogs.
You know,
When they barking.
I've heard that the dogs, mainly the dogs, they can sense the fear in the human being.
Mm.
I've heard about that. I'm not sure about it, but I've heard about it many times. I've heard that if you walk next to one dog or many dogs, they can sense if you are afraid of them, or you're just, you're just walking and you didn't even think about them.
Do you
Yeah,
think
I had,
your fear might provoke their
yeah. I
yes,
have
of
attacking?
heard
course,
about that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
of course.
and every time.
Okay, I'm gonna give one example. Um, I used to go to the mosque every morning. Okay, and when the dawn prayer was like at maybe 5:30, maybe 6 in the morning, I go to the mosque. And whenever I go to the mosque in this early morning, it's dark, and there were a dog. There was a dog um, in my way. Okay, in my way there was a dog, and I didn't know about that at the beginning. So when I was going the first day, it didn't nothing happened. Second day, when I was walking with, I think my with my brother, yeah, I was with my brother. That dog was, he just saw us as a threat, and he was barking and barking again. And we were just so afraid because we didn't expect him to be, we didn't expect to be any dogs there. But since it happened the first time, we just went to the other side of the road, and we walked to the mosque, and we walked back. And we did it like for maybe 10 to 15 days. Okay, and then he was, you know whenever we walked through that way, he was just looking at us. He stopped barking. Why is that? Because he knew that we have he has nothing to fear whenever we were walking from that way, because we didn't shoot him, we didn't yell back at him, we didn't throw rocks at him. Okay, we didn't harm him in any ways. So what did he do? He stopped barking. And this is one experience that shows that, um, even domestic animals could harm you if they felt, you know um, that you could harm them back.
Yeah,
That they react to us the same way we react to them.
Whether
yeah, of course.
whether do you think that human and other animals produce some smell?
Yeah, I have heard about that. It's like some, I don't know,
Mhm.
some, yes, smell or aura which goes out of you. And yes, it's possible to feel. I know about that. And every time seeing a dog, I just tell to myself, please don't be scared, don't share your fear, because they can feel. And I am afraid every time. So. But maybe because I haven't had a dog for a long time. We had a dog when I was a kid, but it was a long time ago, and maybe if I had one, I would understand them better, and my fear would decrease. But there's nothing I can do.
But it is interesting how the smell looks like. How the
Dogs
smell of
can feel.
fear looks like.
Because even, you know, the dogs has an extraordinary sense of smell, of the smells.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, they have extraordinary. Okay, I heard it's 100 times the ability for the human nose to smell things. So and I even heard, like, in a movie, I heard someone say, um, I can smell your fear.
Mhm.
Okay, they even use it in movies. So I can smell your fear, and I think it was a monster or something like that, or predator, or I don't remember the movie, but I remember this saying. Okay, he said, I can smell your fear. And we can reflect to that for human, for I mean for dogs, as they can smell the maybe the you know, the feelings that we feel. Each feeling has maybe a smell, maybe, I'm not sure, but or just the fear has a smell. For dogs or even wild animals to distinguish or to compare to something else.
Does it mean that love also has special smell?
Maybe, I'm not sure. Well, I've just heard the um, you know, this saying for the fear. I can smell your fear, but I haven't heard it for, and I have no scientific proof or foundation to talk about this as if I'm, you know.
But I think so. So I heard some examples when human came across with wild animals, elephants or tigers, and they had no any fear, but like kind of endless love and with them, and they mm, don't touch human. They didn't touch human.
I think they can feel also good attitude, of course. I had a colleague who lived on outskirts, some some far away from the downtown, and there was a pack of like slum dogs. You know, it happens here that like slum dogs are wandering somewhere all together,
Interesting.
and it's pretty.
What is slum dogs? Slum dogs?
Slum, yes, it's like without home. Dogs that
Ah,
live out like
homeless.
on
Yeah.
the street. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
And it's very scary for me,
mhm.
extremely scary. But my colleague, she didn't have any fear, and she told me, "Oh, they just like animals, and it's necessary to love them." And she didn't have any fear. And you know, there is a main I don't know how to say dog in this pack, like in wolves packs, the same. So if this main dog trusts the person, none of other dogs will touch the person. So yes, and my colleague got this trust, and
Mhm.
she brought something to eat every day to the dogs, so they become kind of friends. And she wasn't afraid at all. She always told me, "No, they will not touch me." So yeah, so it's also a
Yeah.
thing of attitude.
Uh-huh. I remember from my childhood, mm, one of my cousin loved a lot homeless dogs, and every dogs couldn't pass away from him. He always whistling and to lure to pet them. it it was weird for me. I was very surprised. Why? How do you? How can you touch them? But it doesn't matter for him. Mm, is it is a small dog or big dog? Every dog he might to touch and love them. I was surprised. Mhm. Barry?
There are there are there are even, experiences where wild animals, okay, did, it's not, the word is not love, but they didn't harm other species. Like, for example, that video that I've seen many years ago, where a lion um, found like a small deer, but he didn't attack him to feed, because that small deer, even if he didn't know what a lion is, he could have, I've seen him attacking him, this small deer attacking the lion, but the lion considered it as just um, as a game,
Mhm.
as a play. Okay, it was like playing with him, and he didn't attack him. While other um, lions came to the scene, they wanted some piece of this, prey, but the lion defended that small deer. Okay, the lion defended him, and he didn't let the other lions to kill or eat his you know his small game or gameplay. So what happens next, that he was playing, the lions were playing roughly with that small deer till he died. They were playing, it's for them, they considered as a game, as a play, as if they were playing. But for the small deer, he was hopeless. He couldn't play rough as they were playing rough. Okay, and he couldn't, manage to live uh, for the whole day. I think it was 2 hours later where he couldn't, manage to stand up. And so even where they are playing, you should consider it that that might harm you at any time. Even with themselves, when they play with their puppies, they try to bite them, and they try to push them hard. And this is just for lions to raise their kids in a strong way, to be strong in the future. So um, you know this is an experience that I've seen in a video, and that I can learn from it a lot. That's it.
Thank you very much. Friends, time goes to the end. It's just
Yeah.
less than 5 minutes left. Make conclusion to our chat, and please, what would you say about discussion?
Yes, I would like to, of course, it was very interesting, and I have known a lot of new things. Thank you, guys. And I would like to say that human have to be wise. As soon as we have this self-consciousness, we have to remember that we are animals as well, and we have to perceive animals as brothers, as in Mowgli story. Yeah.
Mhm,
Like we are all of the same blood. Yeah,
mhm.
so we live in the same world, and we have to live together. So I think so.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Barry? Mhm.
yeah, actually, what we've talked about wild animals and how strange they could be, and how you know how rough they could be as well if they felt that you can endanger them, or they felt hunger. But at the same time, we are more intellectual than they are, and we are at the top of the feeding chain, or the food chain. We are at the top, so we are number one predators. We are number one as human beings. We are number one predators. So all other animals, they fear us. So we should think about that, and we should. It doesn't mean if they are predators or they are wild animals, it doesn't mean that they are the enemy, but they are, you know, different than us. They are guided by their instinct, not with their brains. So we should think with our brains how to react to them, or what is the relationship that we should manage to keep with these animals. So even wild animals, or even um, domestic ones. All right. So I believe that we as human beings, as intellectuals, we should think about it more, and we should keep our distance from these animals, at least until we could manage to understand the real situation, and then react as such. That's my conclusion for today. Thank you very much, Erdi. Thank you very much, Mila. Oh, sorry, Ludmila.
Yes, yes.
All
Mila,
right,
yes. Yeah, yeah.
Mila. All right. So
Thank
it
you.
was nice meeting you. Glad
Mhm.
to hear your beautiful ideas, and I'm very eager for other meetings like this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for you all. And of course, I join to every your words. And we humans must be care about nature. We are all the whole, and uh, I'm very gratitude to you both for being here, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. It is
Yes, it's Saturday.
weekend.
Oh, yes.
Weekend. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
very much. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.